Okay, you guys, so once again we are going to be practicing converting our rational numbers. Some of the numbers here, as you can see, are in decimal form, some are in percent form, and some are in fraction form. So if I am starting with a decimal, okay, it's easiest to go from decimal to percent first. Okay, so for example, 0.5, if I have 0.5, then I need to change this to a decimal. Okay, and I know that going from decimal to percent means that I am moving my decimal point 2 spaces to the right. So now I have 50, but I have 50%. Okay, so I'm going to put in 50% right here. Then, if I want to set this up as a fraction, percents are always out of what? So you should be thinking percents are always out of 100. So I know that I can write 50 out of 100. Now I could write that down right here, but whenever we're going to write down fractions, we want them to be in simplest form. So that means that I need to take 50 and 100 and decide what number can I divide both of those by in order to get my fraction. So I start here with my percent over 100, but then I'm going to simplify, and then once I've simplified, I'm going to put my number here. Now, if I want to go from fraction to decimal, 1/5 just means 1.
I need these students in the office. Lauren Willard, Isaiah Alvarez.
So, as I was saying, if I'm going from fraction to decimal, I'm going to take that fraction, and I know that that just means that I need to take the numerator and divide by the denominator. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to figure out what is 1 divided by 5. I'm going to take 1 divided by 5 and find out what that is as a decimal, and then I can take my decimal and turn it into a percent. Okay, now if I start with a percent, I will start as writing this by my 25% over 100, and I can either divide that to get a decimal, or I can take this and go ahead and simplify it and get my fraction first. Okay, so these notes should be written on your paper, that way you can see where you're going with this. And this should be a review, but if you cannot remember, then just play this video back over and over again to figure out where it is that you want to go first. If you're starting with a decimal, do you want to go to percent first? Do you want to go to fraction first? Totally up to you. These 9 right here, these 9 rows here is what should be filled out, and then you can cut underneath it and paste this top half of the paper into your math journal. Okay, if you have any questions, ask a neighbor first. That's why you are in, that's why your desks are grouped a little bit now at this station. And then if you still have a question, then go ahead and raise your hand and I will get to you as soon as possible. Remember, you should be at a 0 at this station unless you are asking a neighbor, but I should not be able to hear you. Okay?